Hidden camera footage has captured hundreds of cyclists jumping red lights at two junctions in London. The recordings were made by taxi drivers who say they want to highlight the need for improved safety on the roads. Well, Steve McMara is from the Licensed Taxi Drivers Association, who released those pictures, and Jill Greenfield is a lawyer who's represented injured cyclists. Welcome to you both. Thank you for joining us. Steve, let's start with you. Why did you decide to do this?
We're constantly being told that cyclists, there's only a rogue element and a small number that break the law and cross red lights. And this is in direct conflict to what our members report every day. You know, taxi drivers and Londoners in general are often reporting, you know, cyclists riding on the pavement, jumping red lights. And so we thought, well, we'd actually find out what was going on.
Okay.
We set the camera up at the two junctions, left it running for an hour and did the count.
Okay.
And, I mean, we were absolutely horrified by what we saw.
Jill, what's your response to this, the fact that they've done this?
Well, I'm pretty shocked, actually. I think it's a very bad time to be doing this kind of thing. There's been a number of people killed on the roads in London. I think what you ought to be doing is actually road users actually compiling a dossier together and presenting that to Boris Johnson instead. There's been a 25% increase in serious injury and deaths on the roads in London in the past 5 years for cyclists. I don't think you should be pointing the finger. You should be working together with the campaigning people who are actually trying to say, do something about it. A HGV, a bus, a cyclist and a taxi do not fit on the current roads in London.
Well, Steve, what do you say to that? I mean, are you just inflaming a situation when we've seen lots in the press at the moment about cyclist safety? That's
exactly what we're not doing. What we're saying is we're just simply presenting the evidence as to what's going on in the streets. And what we're saying to the Mayor and TfL is you're looking at spending nearly £1 billion. I mean, just think about that, £1 billion on improving cycle infrastructure. And what we're saying is before you spend any more money, perhaps you ought to spend an amount of money on looking at exactly what's going on, looking at the large amount of lawlessness amongst the cycling fraternity, and then make a decision on that before you do anything else.
Jill, Steve says lawlessness.
I have a real issue with that. I think that's very grossly unfair on cyclists. You know, you come into my office any one day, I'm a personal injury lawyer acting for the victims. They have lost limbs, they've lost lives. And very often a cyclist, if they're going through a red light, they're trying to keep ahead of the traffic to stay out of trouble. I've had people taken underneath HGVs because they stayed at the red light. Think about what you're saying. Well, it's about safety on the roads. Taxi drivers do things as well, you know.
If you're suggesting that riding through red lights is an addition to safety, then I would seriously question what you're saying.
Well, you can question it all you like, but the figures are here.
50% of cyclists at these junctions went through the red light. That's all we're saying. And what we are saying also is this is being repeated across London.
Well, Steve, then, if this is what you're saying, you know, what do you hope to achieve? What would you like to see happening? Have you got a solution for this?
Yes, we have. What we need, at the moment, things are great. There's all these extra policemen on the streets and no one is jumping red lights tonight. On the way here, it was quite amazing, the difference. What we need the Mayor to do, he needs to spend some of that £1 billion that he's looking at spending on infrastructure, doing a complete survey as to exactly what's going on. It's very simple. We did it very simply and cheaply. He needs to do that before he spends any more money on the cycling infrastructure, and then look at where cycling fits on the road. And more importantly, the number of people that are cycling, which we also suspect is nowhere near what he's saying it is.
Jill, he has got a point. Jumping red lights isn't safe.
Yeah, I'm not saying it is safe. I'm not a cyclist, by the way. What I'm saying, though, is actually what's interesting. Your message there was to look at the infrastructure and to deal with things. You've got the same idea, but pointing the finger at cyclists is not helping the current debate at all. It's inflaming the situation. Hence, we are sat here now having this debate.
Jill, I'm going to have to stop you here. Steve, I have to stop you as well. Thank you very much. We could, of course, talk about this for much longer, but thank you both for joining us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you.